But for more, let's welcome in President of Walser Wealth Management, Rebecca Walser, as well as Chief Economist and Global Strategist at Euro Pacific Asset. I'm sorry, and we're going to start with, also we have in studio Congressman Dan Walser. Peter, we're going to start with you. The largest increases came from Iowa and North Dakota, where shipments rose by nearly 350%. Why do you think Trump supporters are so ready to spend this holiday season?
Do we have Peter Schiff with us? No, we don't. All right, we apologize for that.
We'll throw that to you then.
That's too bad. I love Peter. Yeah, I wanted to hear what he was going to say. So I wasn't exactly listening to you. The question is, what is going on? Why are the red states more
outperforming blue states?
Absolutely. And so what we're seeing is, since the Trump election, a Trump bump, like there's enthusiasm that this is going to be the president that can actually turn this economy around. You see the CEO survey, the CFO survey, everyone is a lot more upbeat and positive, TW. So that is why we think yes. Now the blue states are probably still they've got a lot of policies, they've got a lot of taxes, they've got a lot of things that are still keeping them repressed, and that's a problem.
So are you telling me my wife's reason for going out and shopping while we're here in New York City is because of Donald Trump?
Absolutely. I can use it all you want, girl. Use it. Trump.
Several retailers now have Black Friday going on for the whole season now, and trying to reel in some of the inflation-weary customers that we are having. But it seems like the only one of those initiatives, it's not really working. Target, which focused mostly on deals at its brick-and-mortar locations, but not necessarily online. We saw sales decreasing last year, whilst Walmart, focusing on online deals, managed to rake in 3% more in sales. So, Congressman, do you think we see this shift towards online shopping continue?
Yes. Now, on the same note, there's great optimism due to the idea that taxes are going to remain competitive. They're not going to go up. Capital gains won't be taxed at the levels that Harris and Biden stated we're going to. Regulations. I mean, there's so many positive things that are going to happen in our economy. And it's virtually a certainty we're going to put these things through. So now online is a phenomenon that's continued to advance. Companies like Walmart and others are, of course, engaged in that far more than they were in the past. And the companies that haven't modernized in that way, they're suffering some. But I will tell you, even though the numbers are up by about $3 billion versus Black Friday last year, factor in over the 4-year period 20% inflation, right? So $70 billion 4 years ago with the inflation is $84 billion, and the sales are nowhere near that. So there's more dollars being spent, but not as many goods being delivered.
All right, I think we've got Peter Schiff back in with us now. Peter, I want to shift now to Bitcoin, which we know jumped to $100,000 for the first time ever after President-elect Trump picked crypto advocate Paul Atkins to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission. Peter, how much do you expect the crypto price to rise under the Trump administration?
Well, eventually I expect the price to fall. I don't know how much higher it's going to rise based on all the rumors regarding the U.S. establishing a so-called strategic Bitcoin reserve. I don't expect that to actually happen. I see very little support for such a reserve, and it would not be the right policy for the United States. It'd be highly inflationary. I disagree with the comments made by Fed Chair Powell that Bitcoin is digital gold. I agree with Alan Greenspan's comments that it's fool's gold, that it's based on nothing more than the greater fool theory. It has nothing in common with gold. I think it's a mistake for the U.S. to be promoting Bitcoin or crypto or encouraging businesses or more capital investment in this area. It comes at the expense of investments that we need to make in the actual productive part of the economy. If Trump wants to make America great again, we need to manufacture real things. We can't squander our wealth on Bitcoin.
That's an interesting perspective.
I see you nodding along, Rebecca, so I must get your opinion on this.
Yeah. Well, Peter's a big gold bug, as I am as well. And the fact is that Gary Gensler has basically is stepping down, and that is why we're getting a pro-crypto SEC, chairman, where Gary Gensler was attacking it. So that's why you're seeing such a big shift to the upside. Also, Senator Loomis did introduce a bill in July that basically does establish $1 million Bitcoin U.S. reserve to pay off our debt. That doesn't make any sense. I'm the same framework as Peter. I do think that it is an asset play, but it is a really strategic risk asset. It does not have any proof of concept through a depression, a recession. And so I agree with Peter that this is still unproven and definitely should not be calling it digital gold, because gold has been the currency transition enabler throughout the entire written time of history. So don't be calling it digital gold. You're sending a message to people that it's absolutely something they can invest in with all confidence, and that's just not the case.
Well, certainly we know this week President Trump tapped former advisor Peter Navarro to serve as the administration's senior counselor for trade and manufacturing. Congressman, this one's for you. What do you think Navarro offers to the White House?
He offers quite a bit. As a matter of fact, when he was in the White House, the first administration, I had the opportunity to work with him on a trade work group that the president brought me in on. He's tough on trade, yet on the same note, it's about fair trade and free, but primarily fair. And the whole idea is on any sort of tariffs is reciprocity. That's the goal. The goal is certainly to make our goods and services as competitive overseas as many of our competitors are, opponents, even adversaries such as China, are here in the United States. And we're going to fight that. We're not going to be a martyr nation. We're not going to put our manufacturing below those of overseas importers to the United States. So I think he's going to be great. He's a really smart guy. I know him, and he's going to follow the lead of the president's plans.
I'm hearing a theme here from all three panelists. We need to bring manufacturing home, and there actually is a place for Bitcoin, but we may not call it digital gold yet.
Yeah, a smart guy that was in jail, by the way. So let's think about that too. Like, how's that going to impact his policies? I love it.
Good point.
I do have to quickly go though, guys. We do have to run to a hard break. Rebecca, Peter, Congressman Musa, thank you all so much for your input.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.